Gabriel Young has been putting out some awesome videos lately where he has been interviewing Devon Larratt, so make sure to go check those out if you haven't already. But in his latest interview, there was one clip I found especially interesting, a clip where Devon talks a lot more in depth about his training volume, and Devon is doing a lot more total volume than I thought he was. Let's take a listen.
So for the next, 55, 60 days or something, you'll do singles how many times a day?
At least 3.
And the highest?
7 or 8, maybe 9 or 10 if I'm really feeling it. That'll be when I'm not doing rehab.
And blood flow how many times a day if you're doing 3 days?
3. As we get closer, the rehab will start to fade.
You're saying you're done April 1st. That means a 20-day taper.
At least.
So as everyone knows, Devon has been talking about this whole singles program for a long time now, but he wasn't very specific initially as far as his total volume and how much rehab he was doing. But the closer we get to the Levon match, the more clarity we have as to exactly what he's doing. So it sounds like the amount of rehab that Devon does is inversely proportional to the amount of singles that he does. Devon says that the lowest number of singles he would ever do in a day would be 3. And for some reason, I was thinking that 3 was probably the average number of singles Devon was doing per day. But as we saw in the video, that is not the case at all. Sounds like the days where Devon only does 3 singles would pretty much be a recovery day. That would be the easiest day he ever does. He would hit 3 singles, but then he would still do his blood flow rehab stuff that same day. Devon said that on those days, he does at least 3 blood flow sessions per day, and it sounds like sometimes he even does more than that. And that already feels like quite a bit of volume to me, but as stated, those days are his easy days. Devon said that on his harder days, sometimes he will hit as many as 10 singles. So what I'm assuming he means is that he does 10 singles on both the rise lift and the pronation lift. So this means that in totality, Devon is hitting 20 singles in one day on occasion. Now he did say that on these days, he doesn't do any blood flow or rehab work, so his total volume is decreased in other areas, but still hitting 10 singles at 85 to 90% of your 1 rep max in a day is extremely taxing when taking into account how he does this day in and day out without any rest days or deloads. And of course, on top of all that, I'm assuming he is still doing sparring whenever he gets the opportunity. And that makes quite a bit of sense as to why he needs a 20-day deload at the end of his prep for Levon. He's just doing so much volume right now. He's doing more sets in a single day than what would normally be recommended for an entire week. Granted, a lot of those sets are isometric, but still. I think this also tells us a lot about Devon's current strength level. Being able to take a week off from training and then hit a 1 rep max lift is totally different from hitting singles 10 times a day when you are training every single day during that period. If Devon is hitting around 155 to 160 pounds right now on his pronation lift, and he's hitting that up to 10 times in a day after accumulating all of this fatigue, that is way more impressive than it would normally be if Devon had simply rested for a couple weeks and then gone for a 1 rep max. Devon talked about how he is trying to hit probably around 165 pounds on that lift before the Levon match. But if he's hitting that weight for 10 reps in a day, his true 1 rep max is going to be so much higher than that. And I've seen that a lot of you guys have already been talking about this in the comments. Devon has got to be incredibly overtrained at the moment, so as soon as he takes that massive deload at the end of his prep, his 1 rep max numbers are going to shoot up super quickly. Maybe his pronation lift will go from 165 to 175 in that last 20 days just from not doing anything. Maybe it will go even higher than that. Who knows? But let me know what you guys think about Devon's training volume as well as the implications of it. As I said, I didn't realize that Devon was doing as high as 10 singles in just one day, so to me, the fact that Devon can lift these heavy weights while being totally overtrained makes his stock go way up. 54 days out from match day.